Hi, dear Virgos, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. This will be your 2022 May video horoscope. Enjoy. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please visit my website, which is www.urbanwitch.org. So let's start. And actually, I'm going to show that wheel for you over here and demonstrate the planetary aspects on this beautiful little wheel. So April 29th, Pluto station direct in your fifth house. What does it mean? Actually, it means like, and it's going to be actually the last retrograde in Capricorn for Pluto, start retrograde in Pluto. Pluto always have a Freudian flavor. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, the planet of death, the planet of sex, tax, other people's money, what you don't own, inheritance, loan, bank system, pregnancy. And actually, it could be the miscarriage as well. And so what's happening over here in your fifth house? Actually, if it's going to retrograde in your fifth house, it could indicate like you might going to revisit a situation with a pregnancy. So you might going to plan another child for yourself, right? And it could also indicate, because Pluto retrograde going to sextile May 1st with Venus over here. Venus still going to be in exalted position in Pisces, and 28 degrees, they're going to sextile on May 1st. So it's going to be 7th house, where Venus is residing, the very end of April and beginning of May. It's going to affect your marriage, your one-on-one relationship. Venus loves to be here. So you might going to get some kind of support from your other half. And that is a lot of loving energy from your other half. And if you have to revisit the way you relate with your children, because fifth house also your children, it's joy, happiness, romance, investment. So that kind of relationship over here going to be very supportive. It could be like, all right, I want to revisit. I always scared the way, I always scared of stock market. So right now I'm going to do researches. Pluto is really good with researches. I'm gonna dig deep, how can I invest in stocks? Or I'm going to actually sneak and research what kind of friends my children have, because lately they are really secretive, Pluto, secretive, and they don't want to tell me what's going on. So I need to check their phones, or I need to know what's going on with them, if they're safe or not. And then this kind of retrograde energy here, it could also indicate like romance maybe was not really fulfilling in your life, and I have to revisit that issue. And because of I get support from my other half, I'm going to actually experience physical love. My mojo is coming back. I'm going to be feeling attractive, and I'm going to be loved and physically loved. So it's a lot of sexual energy between these two planets, and could be sexual energy, because fifth house is romance, seventh house is marriage. So definitely it could bring in some kind of fun for partners. Or Pluto retrograde actually could be like, what? One-on-one relationship, Pluto retrograde over here in the fifth house, somebody from the past who I had romance with before, or I loved before, could come back to me. What else? This Pluto retrograde indicating what kind of other asteroids or planets? Okay, make some aspect with. So we do have actually Pallas Athene over here, Pallas here in Aries, and it is in late degrees, right? In 28, 29 degrees here, beginning of, end of April and beginning of May, and in May going to go Pallas in 0 degrees Aries here. Okay, so Pallas Athene going to make a square with Pluto. And Pluto is, you know, the transformation we were talking about. Pallas Athene is the asteroids of warfare, a goddess of, she's a warrior goddess. So what could do with Pluto when it's squaring, and Pluto is already in retrograde in 5th house? Pallas Athene, it's in your 8th house when it's squaring. So it's going to actually create some kind of, it could create some kind of obsession for a lover or stalkers. It could bring up stalkers as well. So Pallas Athene is not going to compromise, and especially when it's going to square with Pluto, it could be like a power struggle over here. And because 8th house anyway, it's power as itself, and Pallas, the warrior over here, squaring the Lord of the 8th house, which is in retrograde. So it is so powerful, so potent. So that is a detriment energy over here. And Pallas is not giving up. I'm getting whatever I want, even if I have to be stalker or obsessiveness over here. So unfortunately, with that kind of obsession, that kind of really pushy energy, you can push away romance or people or love from yourself. So be careful with yourself. Pallas Athene in 8th house also with children. If you are getting into their life too much, and if you don't respect their privacy at one point, you can actually push them further away from you. So that is just a warning here to be careful. Then Pallas Athene going to actually go to here in Taurus in May, and actually it's still going to create a square. It's separating, but it's still, you know, like could be obsessive energy. But it could be something with a publishing company or immigration. And for example, I'm way too pushy with an immigration matter. So careful with that Plutonian energy, because you maybe say too much, or you will be too pushy, and that's why they're going to seize your case. Or it could be some kind of publishing. So I'm going to talk to my publisher, my agent, but you know, the way I am, I'm a warrior right now, and they're gonna say like, you know what, I don't want to work with you. The way you relate to me, it's not a good energy. So I don't want to work with you. So just a reminder, you know. All right, Venus going to go to Aries, 0 degree world axis, karmic degree, very potent. Venus doesn't like to be in Aries, but Venus has two sides. Venus has the yin and the yang. So you need to find a silver lining in Venus. Venus could represent the material thing for you, the beauty, vanity, the jewelry, you know, luxury. Venus loves luxury. But Venus also the planet of love, not the unconditional love, but the love. So that is the duality in Venus. And when it's actually coming into Aries, and that's 0 degree karmic degree, and it's gonna be in your 8th house, it could be something like somebody from past life coming back to me, and I'm gonna feel so attracted to that person, because Aries ruled by Mars, and that's attraction, sexuality. And when Venus goes there, I meet this person and I feel right away connected, because that's a past life experience and very sensual energy and very loving. Or it could be also like, I feel love from the people who passed away. I do feel, and you know, I feel it through my dreams. And or you know what, I'm really interested to do some kind of research about past life, or some kind of matter of afterlife over here. But it also can bring in some kind of possessiveness as well, because Venus could, you know, like that is duality over here, and we do have 8th house matters for you in Aries this month, and it's still sextiling with Pluto, so some kind of possessiveness as well. Okay, what else could be here? So Neptune going to stay another 2 years. Jupiter, the planet of reach, the planet of expansion, the optimism, Santa Claus. It's a planet of giving also, moving also to your 8th house. And they all going to be at one point, right? When they are crossing at 0 degrees, that's world axis. So it's like increasing everything. Jupiter is a magnifier glass. Whatever it touches, it's magnifying. If it's touching something bad, for example, Jupiter in 8th house, not necessarily good, or 6th house or 12th house. 12th house is good because it rules Pisces. But Jupiter can expand something over here. So it could be, actually, you can get rid of karma, family karma here, or you might have to deal with inheritance issues. So Jupiter can bring in money, but through inheritance. But with Venus over here, it could be also like I'm getting a loan, what I really wanted for a long time to buy a house, or I'm getting a loan, student loan, or other people's money. So somebody wants to support me, and I'm getting some kind of loan from even friends over here. Mars, it's still in Pisces, but Mars actually May 21st going to move to Aries. Mars loves to be here in Aries, rules Aries, his home. That's one of his home signs, other than Scorpio. And over here, he will actually, at May 29th, going to conjunct with Jupiter at 3 degrees in Aries. So that's going to be really powerful for you, Virgos. It could be like, you know what, I wanted to have a surgery for a long time. And that is actually a good time for surgery because Venus not gonna be there anymore. So it's not supporting, it's gonna go May 28th in Taurus. It's gonna be in its own sign also, so very potent, really loving, really powerful. But Mars over here, also it could in 8th house, investment. Mars is metal, Jupiter. So actually, maybe you will get some kind of financial windfall from previous investment if you invested in gold or any kind of silver or metal, any kind of metal here. All right, or mining. Yes. And then let's see Saturn here, 6th house. 6th house is your health. Saturn could create joint issues, joint pain, teeth issues in your 6th house of health, but it's also your work. It's also daily routine. And it means Saturn here, like I will need to work very, very hard right now to accomplish something. In my 10th house, Mercury went over there end of April in its own sign. In Gemini, that's one of its own sign, but it also rules you, Virgo. So in 10th house, it's your reputation, it's your career, it's your recognition, nobility. So it is doing really well at the beginning, but unfortunately, May 10th, it's going to go to retrograde. Fortunately or unfortunately, you don't have to be scared from Mercury retrograde. Actually, you know, this is the time when you can revisit issues here, and it means like I rewrite, I reimagine, I reinvent. So in the 10th house, it could be like, you know, something in my career, I have to revisit and I have to restructure something in my career. So it's not necessarily bad. It's gonna go back to your 9th house, and when it's gonna go back to your 9th house, May 22nd, it could create some kind of delay. It could create some kind of delay with a matter of traveling. And because of North Node also was in your 9th house and actually still squaring with Saturn, and it's going to square for a while, yes, it could delay long distance traveling, or it could delay education perhaps, because I need to work so hard. I need to work on my health, and I need to adjust something in my health. Or actually, I do have a backache, a pinched nerve in 6th house over here, Saturnian energy, or a toothache. And I can't go right now for a travel, what I wanted to do, or I cannot do the publishing or the exam. Actually, I have to delay all those matters because I have some kind of physical issue, and literally I cannot go there. All right. So Mercury going to go back to Taurus on May 22nd in your 9th house, and it's also a magnifying those kind of issues. So it's going to get delayed a little bit, but May 20th, the sun gonna come into Gemini. But before that, I have to talk about this eclipse here in your 9th and your 3rd house. 3rd house, actually Scorpio, that is your communication, the 3rd house. It is your taste, it is ruling your neck over here as well. So Gemini, talking, your vocal cords, and it could be like some kind of some issues with communication. You can get an infection, for example, with that kind of total lunar eclipse here, but most likely you will have to reinvent the way you are talking or the way you are writing. It does not serve you anymore. And you know, South Node going to conjunct with this eclipse here, and the eclipse gonna be in Scorpio, rules the 8th house of, you know, death. The eclipse is also getting rid of something, and the South Node also is ending. So it is almost like we got a free steroid shot at once to detoxificate something what does not serve us anymore. So it could be your website, it could be some kind of, you know, Gemini rules 3rd house, could also cryptocurrency or selling or whatever. So some kind of selling is not coming through what we wanted to sell, or it could be like the crypto or crypto investment could go a little bit down, so it's decreasing actually with this kind of eclipse here. And it could be also like, yes, definitely the way I'm talking, it does not serve me anymore, so I need to reinvent myself on stage, or, you know, it is like I studied so many little things, and I was unfocused, and right now I need to get rid of those kind of little licensing over here, or, you know, because I can't be focused on the big picture. So that could actually like, okay, I don't need this license, I don't need this license, it's not gonna serve me. So you are revisit those kind of issues here, and you're not gonna go and move forward with it. Okay, but the sun is in your 9th house, so definitely over there, maybe you wanted to do a grading degree here, but you're going to make a decision, okay, it's out, I don't need that. Actually, I'm gonna go for higher education over here, and I'm going to prepare the papers. I'm not going to apply yet because Mercury is in retrograde, but prepare the papers for higher education. And maybe it's gonna be in something with science, because look at that, Uranus is still here, so it could be something with science, or something with humanitarian project, or yes, those kind of situation. Also, what you have here, May 4th, Uranus and Sun going to actually conjunct in your 9th house. In general, on mundane perspective, when Uranus and Sun conjuncting, it could be something like earthquake, a lot of earthquake we will experience, and we can experience, for example, brainstorming, but also we can experience a lot of lightning storms, like crazy lightning storms. And 9th house also, you know, like maybe your foreign home. 9th house is foreign land, maybe your own homeland going to get affected by tsunamis or earthquakes. So it could bring in something like that as well, unfortunately. But in 9th house Uranus, let's see. Okay, so that's traveling, that's airplane traveling, and Mercury over there. No, not in May 4th. Mercury not gonna be there yet in May 4th. Venus going to be, so it's no delay. It could be wonderful. around that time for some kind of air traveling. The Venus is gonna support that. But you know, it could get delayed for some reason because of the country you go to. Let me see. Yes, the country you go to had an earthquake, so it could make that kind of delays with long distance traveling. So, all right, we talked about Pallas Athene, we talked about Venus and Pluto. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about Taurus. Because that's Taurus season still until May 20th. And we did have Uranus over here, we did have Venus is coming here on May 28th. And we do have Sun at the beginning until May 20th. So we also have the fixed star Algol, and it's always going to be there in 26 degrees. And Algol is actually the asteroids, which is like, you know, like it's danger. It's quite scary, and it's going to conjunct at one point with Sappho, and Sappho is the muse, the creativity, the asteroids of creativity, has no shame about her sexuality at all, but Algol does, the fixed star, because Algol got raped and being punished to be not to be a virgin. So it's revengeful, really revengeful here. And with Sappho, and Sappho is creating that kind of sexual energy. So Algol is like, wait a minute, no. Actually, in the 9th house of publishing, it could be like, you know what, you are flirting with your agent or whatever, and I'm going to actually bring that in limelight, and you're going to be punished for that. So I'm going to shame you. I'm going to shame Sappho. Plus, don't forget, we do have a lunar eclipse over here and the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Scorpio is sexuality, secrets, and you know, it's in retrograde. And here, with that kind of Algol Sappho, that eclipse is going to happen 25 minutes and 25 degrees and 18 minutes in Scorpio. But the axis, of course, the sun gonna be in Taurus, so the axis is here, and the sun gonna be in 25 degrees 18 minutes, conjuncting with Sappho and with Algol. All right, so what it's gonna be, it is not the greatest, because Algol is always some kind of fear over here. So it could be like a fear from letting go of a foreign matters, or it could be because of third house is younger sibling, that is older siblings, or third house is some kind of neighbor or friends as well. It could be like opposition with the sun and moon, lunar eclipse, like I'm going to lose one of my friend or sibling because they thought I flirted with their wife or husband or something like that. But it could be also, unfortunately, eclipsing out friends and eclipsing out relative, like siblings. And you know, Scorpio rules death. So unfortunately, it could relate to that as well, but not all of Virgo rising, sun, moon going to lose a sibling or a neighbor. You know, some of you could have. All right, what else could be over here? So Mercury gonna go back and put another emphasis over here. May 22nd gonna retrograde back in your 9th house, so delay in immigration matters or delay with traveling, but sun gonna come to your 10th house and gonna shine over here on your 10th house of career, so or recognition or bonuses. So it's going to be good for you, Virgos. And what else I wanted to say? Yes, I wanted to say the new moon. That's pretty much over here, the last, unless I'm going to check my notes over here. Yes, so May 29, we're going to have Jupiter and Mars, but I was talking about that previously. So yes, that is the last aspect over here, the new moon in Gemini in your 10th house. Start some kind of new career, maybe something that you thought you don't even have gift for, or a new job, or you go, new moon, it's like you're going to get recognized, or you're going to yeah, out in public and in front of the eye of public for you. All right, let me see. So that's what I wanted to say. Asteroids, we will talk about. Juno gonna go. Ceres actually going to go to where? It's gonna go to Cancer, but on the 15th of May, and where is Cancer for you, my dears? It is in your 11th house. All right. So that means Ceres is a fear of loss. So you might going to be scared to lose some kind of friends or lose some kind of income from career, because it's also 11th house could represent also money, but from your career. So you will have a scare to lose that kind of matters. And then also we do have Juno in Pisces, but it went in Pisces in the 20th of April already. So it is it's going to put an emphasis. Juno is the loyal lover. So in your 7th house of marriage, it's going to be a loyal love from your partner and indicate some kind of, that's a beautiful energy in your 7th house. But your loyalty also from one-on-one relationship support. Okay, so if you liked my insight and my guidance over here, so I would be honored if you would give me some love. And I always tell my children, I do that for love and not for like, but obviously YouTube only recognize you if you get the like button pushed, or, you know, if you subscribe. So if you want to give me some love, I will be honored. And if you would like to have a personal reading, as I mentioned before, that is www.urbanwitch.org. So please don't hesitate to contact with me till we meet again. Bye.